Welcome back to Blacks in Motion. Now, like I said, I'm going to talk a little highlights from this past weekend's NFL draft. Everybody was waiting to see where all the good players from college were going to end up, and I'm here to recap some of that for you. So with the number one pick, the Houston Texans did as expected and selected Jadeveon Clowney from the University of South Carolina. Look, he was the best freakish phenom athlete in the draft. It only made sense. If they couldn't trade away that pick, they went ahead and took him with the number one selection. He's going to go out there and be placed already on a stout defense, that features J.J. Watt and now Clowney. And I could just imagine the packages that are going to be put together by the coaches out there for the Texans, and hopefully they can turn their season around. Now, the first surprise of the draft, we didn't have to wait that long. After we got past the second pick, we got to the third pick with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nobody knew exactly what they were going to do, and they selected Blake Bortles. Now, look, Blake Bortles is a great prospect. It's not a surprise that he went that early, but it was a surprise that the Jacksonville Jaguars went out there and made a statement and said, hey, this is our guy. We're taking him at number 3. We're not going to trade down, and this is the guy that we want to be the face of our franchise offensively for the next years to come. So Blake Bortles has him a new home right there in Florida. He played at the University of Central Florida, so he doesn't have to go that far, and he's going to be leading that franchise, hopefully, to better days. Now, everybody thought Johnny Manziel, Johnny Manziel was going to go real early, possibly number 1, possibly number 4, possibly even number 3, like I just said, the Jacksonville Jaguars. But one thing was made clear. If he was on the board at number 16, where the Dallas Cowboys, my Cowboys, were, that they were going to take him because Jerry Jones was in love with the guy. And I prayed, I promise y'all, I got down on my knees and I prayed that the Dallas Cowboys would not take, that's right, would not take Johnny Manziel. I think he's a great athlete, but I don't think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. So when the Cowboys selected Zach Martin out of Notre Dame, I jumped up for joy. I love when offensive linemen go in the first round. It shows that the team has a good perspective on where they need to take their future, and the Cowboys needed help on the offensive line, and they got one of the better offensive linemen in the draft. But guess what? Johnny didn't have to wait that much longer. The Cleveland Browns didn't take him with the number 4 pick, but they traded back into the first round with the 22nd pick and took Johnny Football. So yes, he's going to be in Cleveland. He didn't get to wear orange and go to UT. He went to A&M, but now he's wearing orange up there in Cleveland. I must admit, even though I don't think he's going to be good, I do think he's exciting, and I'm looking forward to see him play for the Cleveland Browns. Now, last but not least, I have to talk about it because all other media outlets are talking about it. Everybody was wondering where openly gay athlete from the University of Missouri, Michael Sam, where was he going to be drafted? Well, he was drafted with the 294th pick by the St. Louis Rams, the same state where he went to college. And that guy was elated. He was so happy, he cried. And after he cried, he hugged his boyfriend. After he hugged his boyfriend, he kissed his boyfriend. It was on national television. It was shown on ESPN. And some people were outraged by it. Some people didn't care. And I'm going to tell you like this. When it comes to homosexuality, I wish society would go ahead and grasp it. Not necessarily condone it, but just accept the fact that it's here. So if you put a camera in this man's home on the day that he's fulfilling his dream by making it to the NFL, he's probably going to kiss his spouse, no matter if his spouse is named Craig or Kathy. And in this case, it's a dude, so he kissed him. No big deal. But I don't know about the cake eating thing. Like they was eating cake off each other's face like they were married or whatever. That got a little bit shaky for me. But look, check it out. It created a media firestorm. It didn't surprise me that ESPN aired it. But hey, some of you folks going to have to get over it. And I agree. Some people, go ahead, take your stance on it and say, I choose not to show that. I guess ESPN made that decision because they needed the ratings. But hey, you might think that it's totally wrong for that guy to kiss his boyfriend on camera on national TV. Maybe you think the Trailblazers actually have a chance to come back and beat the Spurs. Either way, you don't always have to agree with me. But if you do, or if you don't, hit me up at my email, cliff@blackvideonews.com, here at Black Video News at 8. And as always, love us and stay logged on to Blacks in Motion.